Einen wunderschönen Abend, herzlich willkommen beim zweiten Science Slam, wieder im wirklich wunderbaren Kulturhofkeller. Vielen, vielen Dank ans Kulturhofkeller-Team, dass wir wieder da sein können. Bei euch ist es so richtig gemütlich, ich hoffe für euch auch. Ist gemütlich? Ja? Bei uns kommen heute wieder couragierte Forschende und bringen ihre Arbeit sehr kompakt in maximal 6 Minuten. Das ist für Wissenschaftlerinnen echt, das ist kurz. Aber damit muss man sich aufs Wesentliche konzentrieren. 6 Minuten, sehr kompakt, sehr verständlich und durchaus kreativ auf die Bühne. Unser Themenspektrum reicht von gesundheitsfördernden Aktivitäten im Alter bis zur Romantik in der Quantenphysik. Lasst euch überraschen, lasst euch überraschen. Von effizienten Spezialagenten in Nanogröße über innovative Krebsdiagnostik bis hin zu vorbildlichem Sozialverhalten bei Affen. Also wirklich breites Spektrum, das wir euch heute servieren. Mein Name ist Bernhard Weingartner, ich bin Physiker mit Fokus auf Wissenschaftskommunikation. Ich organisiere solche Science Slams im ganzen Land und freue mich sehr, dass man zum zweiten Mal schon in Villach sieht. Die Regeln sind ganz einfach, wie gesagt, maximal 6 Minuten Sprechzeit. Wenn die überschritten wird, wird so ein Tickchen und immer mehr Musik eingespielt, um so als Zeichen, jetzt dann bald zum Ende zu kommen. Wenn das nicht funktioniert, komme ich auf die Bühne und sorge dafür, dass wir zum Ende kommen. Das ist mein Job. Und wir verzichten ganz bewusst auf den Beamer. Bei uns stehen die Menschen im Fokus. Aber wie gesagt, es ist auch erlaubt und sehr empfohlen, irgendwelche kreativen Hilfsmittel bis hin zu Kaffeetassen mitzunehmen. Alles, was hilft, komplexe Forschung verständlich und greifbar zu machen. Und ihr seid nicht einfach nur ein zu berieselndes Publikum, ihr seid unsere Jury. Ihr werdet am Ende entscheiden, wer heute zum Slam Champion gekürt wird, wer also den überzeugendsten, inspirierendsten, unterhaltsamsten Beitrag gebracht hat. Und ihr habt noch eine ganz wichtige Aufgabe. Es gehört nämlich schon einiges an Courage dazu, sich auf 6 Minuten zu beschränken und ohne jegliche akademischen Hilfsmittel wie eben Beamer oder PowerPoint oder sonst was sich da dem Publikum zu stellen. Und deswegen verdienen unsere Slammer, Slammerinnen von Anfang an massive emotionale Unterstützung. Und damit das von Anfang an wirklich funktioniert, werde ich es jetzt mit euch einmal hochwissenschaftlich eintrainieren. Ich bin Physiker. Ich muss alles in Diagrammen darstellen. Also, stellt euch das vor. Wir haben da unten die Zeitachse, das ist ein Pfeil. Und da ist, also Zeit T, und da ist I von T. I ist die Intensität eures Applauses, abhängig von der Zeit. Wir starten jetzt mit einer linearen Funktion. Wir machen gleichzeitig Traumaaufarbeitung für alle, die irgendwie ein Mathematiktrauma aus der Schule haben. Also, wir klatschen jetzt gemeinsam. Das ist 0 Intensität, das ist 100% Intensität. Wir klatschen jetzt eine konstante Funktion bei 20% in der Intensität. Bitte jetzt klatschen auf 20%, konstant. Wunderbar! Okay, mit euch kann man schwierigere Sachen machen. Wir machen jetzt einen Sinus. Wir klatschen einen Sinus. Jetzt werden natürlich die Obergescheiten sagen, ein Sinus geht ja ins Negative. Wie soll Intensität negativ werden? Wir machen Sinus von t plus 1. Das ist maximal 2 mal 50. Dann sind wir eben, dann wird es so, ich zeige es euch einmal, das wird so eine elegant geschwungene Funktion, die immer von 0 bis 100 geht. Also sie küsst unten die Nulllinie und sie küsst oben die Maximallinie. Schafft ihr das gemeinsam, kollektiv, diese elegante Funktion zu klatschen? Wir starten bei 50%. Oh Gott, ist das elegant, wunderbar! Hey, ihr seid Naturtalente! Okay, dann können wir noch einen Schritt weitergehen. Exponentielles Wachstum. Die Exponentialfunktion startet bei minus unendlich, das ist irgendwo ganz da drüben, und ist ganz, ganz, ganz lang fast bei 0. Und irgendwann fängt sie dann an, sachte zu steigen, immer schneller, und dann steigt sie radikal. Okay, schafft sie das? Wir starten bei minus unendlich, fast bei 0, aber alle klatschen mit, ganz, 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 ganz sacht, ja. Das kommt von minus unendlich. Ganz sachte, ganz sachte. einen Applaus. Oh, es fühlt sich so gut an. So, ein Experiment ist nur dann gültig, wenn es reproduzierbar ist. Okay? Jedes Mal, wenn jetzt eine Slammerin oder ein Slammer auf die Bühne kommt, bekommen die einen exponentiellen Applaus. Versprochen? Schaffst ihr das? Auch ohne mich? Wir werden es testen. Ich werde nämlich jetzt 2 Personen auf die Bühne holen, die ganz, ganz wichtig sind für uns. Sonst gibt es uns hier heute nicht. Das ist einerseits die Julia Marinaccio. Die organisiert an der FH Kärnten die Kooperation in Europa. Da gibt es eine Allianz, ACE2EU, eine Allianz europäischer Universitäten, die koordiniert sie. Und sie hat dafür gesorgt, dass es heute hier diesen Science Slam gibt. Und tatkräftig unterstützt im Vorfeld. Und heute wird sie von Victoria Scariano. Sie ist Lehrende an der FH Kärnten und hat letztes Jahr hier auf dieser Bühne den Science Slam gewonnen und ist seither im absoluten Science Slam Fieber. Und euch beide darf ich jetzt mit einem exponentiellen Applaus kurz auf die Bühne bitten.
Ja, herzlichen Dank für den tollen Applaus. Der Bernhard hat euch ja super vorbereitet und super trainiert. Herzlich willkommen alle. Es ist toll, dass der Science Slam dieses Jahr wieder funktioniert hat. Und jetzt brauche ich meinen Spickzettel. Und er ist auch deswegen möglich geworden, nicht nur, weil ich tatkräftig von der Victoria unterstützt wurde, sondern weil wir auch Partner hatten oder haben, die uns in der Werbung unterstützen, die uns finanziell unterstützen, die uns die Räumlichkeiten zur Verfügung stellen. Und allen voran möchte ich mich eben beim Land Kärnten bedanken. Wir haben heute die Frau Nicole Schoja in Vertretung vom Herrn Landeshauptmann hier und den Herrn Markus Steindl. Bitte sieht man das auch. Beides sind sehr gut, also sehr nachhaltige Unterstützer, nicht nur der FH, sondern eben auch dieser Veranstaltung und ohne ihre Unterstützung wäre das nicht möglich gewesen. Danke an dieser Stelle. Natürlich auch der Kulturhof, der uns wieder die Räumlichkeiten zur Verfügung gestellt hat, die Infinion, die uns auch unterstützt hat und wir freuen uns dann auch umso mehr, dass wir auch Slammerinnen von der Infinion dieses Jahr begrüßen dürfen. Und genau, und jetzt brauche ich einen Spickzettel, Entschuldigung. Ich möchte mich auch ganz herzlich bei meinem Team an der FH Kärnten bedanken, also das Backoffice sozusagen, die ihre Tasks oder ihre Aufgaben beiseite gelegt haben und mich auch hier unterstützt haben, vor allem in den letzten Vorbereitungen. Also ein großes Dankeschön an die Melissa, an die Sangeta, an die Sonja und an die Mushumi. Ich weiß nicht, ob sie im Raum sind, wenn sie da sind, einfach. Hallo. Und auch an unser Marketing-Team, die uns die Plakate entworfen haben, die Werbung in die Social-Media-Kanäle gespielt haben, auf die Webseite, ins Intranet und heute ist auch eine Vertretung von unserer Marketingabteilung hier, die Martina, die sitzt hinten in letzter Reihe. Und alle diese vielen Menschen haben uns unterstützt und ohne die wäre das heute nicht möglich. Aber natürlich, die es zum Erfolg bringen werden, sind unsere Slammerinnen. Ja, und jetzt möchte ich aber das Wort an meine Kollegin weitergeben.
Ja, danke Julia. So nervös kenne ich dich ja gar nicht. Letztes Jahr durfte ich hier auf dieser Bühne stehen und Sie können sich gar nicht vorstellen, was das für mich als Lehrende bedeutet hat. Nicht nur hier vor dem Publikum zu stehen, ein breitbandiges Publikum von jung bis mitteljung und hier einfach vortragen zu dürfen, sondern auch einen Studierenden mitnehmen zu dürfen. Und im letzten Jahr war das Matthias Wolscher, ein sehr schüchterner Studierender, der hier plötzlich auf dieser Bühne aufgeblüht ist und ich kannte ihn 3 Jahre lang so nicht. Und es ist wirklich eine tolle Möglichkeit, hier sich entfalten zu können. Und dazu braucht es ein Publikum, dazu braucht es Sie alle. Und jetzt gebührt einmal ein großer Applaus auch an Sie alle, dass Sie hierher kommen und den Slammer und Slammerinnen einfach die Aufmerksamkeit schenken, die sie in dem Moment brauchen. Vielen Dank. Ja. Und so wie Matthias Wort schon letztes Jahr aufgeblüht ist, blühen heute unsere internationalen SlammerInnen auf. Denn viele kennen aus ihren eigenen Ländern nicht diese Form von Wissenschaftskommunikation, zugänglich für alle Altersgruppen und für alle Vorerfahrungen und Vorwissensträger. Und genauso haben wir jetzt in diesen letzten 2 Tagen, also gestern und heute, in denen Sie intensiv trainiert haben und sich vorbereitet haben, durften wir sehen, wie sie sich weiterentwickelt haben. Und sie hatten mächtig Spaß dabei, diese neue Erfahrung zu machen. Und heute wird es für sie der Höhepunkt sein. Und wir werden einfach den Abend mit Ihnen gemeinsam genießen und mit unseren Slammerinnen. Danke.
Vielen Dank für diese Ihr habt auch noch einen exponentiellen Applaus verdient. Vielen Dank für die schönen, motivierenden Worte. Damit legen wir los. Seid ihr bereit? Are you ready? We will have contributions in English as well as in German. And our first slammer from the Polytechnic University of Santarém, which is in Portugal. Yes, wow. Portugal, close to Lisbon. His topic is age is just a number. Wir haben es gerade gehört, jung und mittel und so weiter. Ja. Age is just a number, finding new purposes in life. Now, exponential applause for Luis Jacob.
Guten Tag, good afternoon, boa tarde. Do you know we are talking about 2 things today? Very important things. One is aging and the other one is school. You are thinking, school with aging? Yes, I'm going to tell you. First, remember my name, Luis Jacob, because it's important to the end. In Europe, we have a little situation with aging. 3 or 2, depends of the countries, of the persons are 50. 2 in 5 persons in Europe, 2 are 50. In some case, 3 persons are 50. 50 over. Okay? That is not a problem. But really a problem is these three people aging, 2 or 1 feel alone. So 1 or 2 of this group 50 feel alone. And alone is a really problem. Because if you feel alone, you get sick. Because you don't have nothing, you don't have an idea to do in your life, you don't talk, you stay there at home watching TV. So that is the problem. And 1 in 3 have that problem. But I have good news, because in Portugal we create a project for this kind of people, the 50s, very nice group. And we create a project that now have 400 groups. 1,000 of people and 1,000 of volunteers. Look nice, no? Thank you. And it's better because it's very easy, very simple to create and cheap to do. For 12 euros a month per person, so the price of 4 cafes, 1, 2, 3, 4, you drink 4 coffees and you can go to the university, to this project. Okay, so I think 12 euros for month is a very good price for being happy. So you ask, okay, it's easy, it's not so expensive, it's easy to create, and join school and elder. What is it? Imagine you back to school. What do you remember about your school? Maybe friends, maybe some teachers, some classes, some activities. Okay? That is what you remember about school. And if I am 50, I have 50, and back to school, but without the not good things in school, like tests, some teachers, faults, and so on. Only the good things of school I'm going to have. Nice friends, good classes, when I go and play piano, learn to speak German, play football, go to the gym, be part of a theater group, be part of a music group, whatever we want. So, that project have one name. Senior Unicity. One Unicity for seniors. And you know that this project have a lot of impact in the life of the persons. There are many papers and theses wrote about the effect of this school for the seniors. Do you know that the seniors that are in the senior university are 5 more happier than the other seniors that stay alone at home? Do you know that these students in this school take 20 less medicines, pills to sleep, so on? And, more important, 7 less depression. Because depression is a big problem to the elderly people. Because if you're alone, you know. So, if you are in the same university, you have 7 less possibilities of feel depression. Good, no? Better in the end. For the price of 1 person in the nursing room, the price of 1 person in a nursing room, you can have 100 students in the same university. It is good to the politics and so on. Because one price of 1 person in the nursing room, you have 100 persons in the same university. Too good to be true? No, it's reality. Because remember, my name is Luis Jacob, and I created 20 years ago this project. And now we have 400 senior university in Portugal and 25 in another 6 countries. So it's possible. And how you can join to us? Okay, if you are 50, you can go to every kind of lessons we have. If you are young, you can be a teacher, because all our teachers are volunteers, and 1 day, 1 hour for a week, you can be a teacher with us. So, let's back to school and be more happy. Thank you.
Louis. Oh, no problem. Thank you so much. Whenever, stay here. So, at your senior universities, who are the volunteers teaching there, and how do you motivate them?
All kind of persons, young, more old. Just necessary 1 hour for week, like to teach, and know something to say to the other person, that everybody can go. The other reason, if you are volunteers, you talk to the other people, you feel very good to be volunteer. So you keep going. So we have teachers, they are 10 years in the university, because they like so much the relationship between him and the students.
But they are volunteers, they don't get paid.
Nothing. No, well, not nothing, because sometimes they have hugs, smiles, in the Christmas they have a present, and the end of the certificate. So, more or less.
Much more valuable reward than that money.
Yeah, sure.
Just one question, how is the ratio between men and women at the senior universities?
Let's back to my class.
Yeah, you can show it too.
3 women and 1 man. It's not bad for men. Some of them have a girlfriend in the university, like me when I was young.
Well, you convinced me. I will turn 50 soon, so in Austria as well, maybe?
Yes, it's very easy. Like I said, it's very easy to do and make miracles in the life of persons.
And cheap as well.
Yeah,
Good.
cheap, of course.
Thank you very much. One more big clap. Our next slammer is from Medical University in Gdansk in Poland. Her topic today, CSI bloodstream, tracking cancer's most wanted. Big applause for Claudia Kubiak.
Also, guten Abend, Villach. Thank you for having me. Stellen Sie sich das vor. Tatort Blutbad, a crime scene inside the bloodstream. So, when we usually think about cancer, we imagine a tumor, a mass, but in reality, the cancer is more like a criminal gang. So, tumor is their headquarters, but sometimes those criminals break out. So those little escapers, they're called circulating tumor cells, or CTCs for short. Now, if we're imagine CSI Villach, who would be the detectives? Well, in my case, in my lab, I'm one, because my lab basically is like a crime scene, where we, instead of looking for fingerprints, we're actually looking for traces of cancer in blood. So, as is usual in science, there are problems. And one of them is that the tumors don't really just sit down. They move, they adapt, they evolve, they change. And doctors track them or study them using biopsy. And what first comes to mind when you think of a biopsy? Yeah, surgeries, needles, and lots of pain still. It's a very invasive procedure. Aber was, wenn wir das einfacher machen könnten? What if we could just catch those little undercover agents without knives and stitches? That's where liquid biopsy comes in. Instead of cutting our bodies and taking the stuff out, we just draw some blood. And it's a fake blood, by the way. So we just draw some blood and isolate those little cancer cells and study them. But there's a trick. It's not that easy, since in 1 milliliter of blood there are millions of different types of cells, normal healthy cells, red, white cells, etc. And if you're lucky, there might be 1 cancer cell in it. So we use special technologies like magnetic tricks and tiny chips, molecular markers, to actually track those little cancer cells, capture them, and study them further. Now, those CTCs, they're like a part or a piece of evidence that when we actually gather all of it, we would be able to uncover tumor secrets. So, how do we catch them? Yeah, we usually use those lab techniques, but what's tricky is that they have a special type of molecular basis. So they have to be special techniques to be able to track them perfectly and isolate them from this small amount of blood still. And when we are successful, these type of, why is it so exciting to actually have a non-invasive type of biopsy? Because the doctors, thanks to that, could track the treatment in real time. They would be able to actually detect cancer much easier and much faster without casting our body and waiting for the cancer to grow first. We could do this much faster and on earlier stages. And maybe in the future, we would be even able to predict the relapse before it actually happens. Because as you might know, cancer usually comes back. And what if we could actually track it and know when it comes back? So imagine we observe the tumor, we see when it wants to come back, when it's preparing to come back, then we stop it and remove it before it actually invades another organ. So then we're getting our CTC cell, our little criminal, and then we investigate them like a proper CSI style. So we ask those questions like, where are you coming from? Meaning who sent them, which type of organ did they come from? What are your weapons? So what type of mutations do they have? Because cancer is usually even more aggressive with different type of mutations. And what are you going to do next? Meaning which organ does it want to affect next? Because that's usually the case. So with these type of weapons, right now that doctors and scientists have, we could already prevent cancer at early stages and also track it better during actual illness. So next time, if you think of cancer research, don't think just white lab coats and microscope and those very long and unnecessarily difficult words. Just think of CSI bloodstream. So cancer cells, our most wanted criminals, liquid biopsy is our crime lab, and scientists, we are the detectives. We're trying to keep patients safe. So because in this case, justice is not just about, it's not about justice, it's also about saving lives. Vielen Dank, Villach.
This sounds so amazing.
It does, doesn't
Like
it?
science fiction.
Yeah, I know, and it's happening already.
It's happening already in the lab,
In the
not yet
lab?
in the clinic.
Not in every
What are the
cancer.
challenges you're facing right now before you enter clinical studies? Is it the reliability or the amount of blood you need? So what are the obstacles in the moment?
Definitely the amount of blood, because we still need like 40 milliliters, which you might think is normal for a healthy person, sure. But like for a person who's already suffering from cancer, it's very, very much just for this type of investigation. But the other bigger obstacle is basically molecular markers that are very specific to type of cancer. So we have to first detect them and then use them.
And if you overcome these obstacles, then
We save lives.
Then we save lives. How amazing is this? Claudia, thank you very much.
Thank you for having
good luck
us.
for you. Weiter geht's mit Local Heroes von Infineon in Villach. Alexander Cäsar, Nikolaus Jäger, Silke Aufter und Matthias Dietl. In Liebe gefangen. Quantencomputer aus Kärnten. Bitte, tosenden Applaus.
Oh Mann, gar keinen Bock. Diese nervige Physikprüfung morgen über Quantencomputing. Das ist so kompliziert, ich check's gar nicht. Wieso hilft mir denn niemand? Wofür brauchen wir diese doofen Quantencomputer überhaupt?
Du willst wissen, warum wir Quantencomputer brauchen? Naja, es geht hauptsächlich um serielle Funktion im Hilbert-Raum, pardon, im unendlich-dimensionalen Hilbert-Raum natürlich. Dort evolvieren Zustände unter nicht kommutativen Operatoren, sodass das Tensorprodukt eine exponentielle Zustandsfunktion erzeugt.
Also, Mann, total unchillig erklärt. Also wirklich. Ich glaube, was unser Einstein hier sagen will, ist, dass Quantencomputer ganz anders funktionieren als normale Laptops und Handys. Mit den Quantencomputern können wir nämlich mächtige Medikamente entwickeln, zum Beispiel, um viele Krankheiten noch besser behandeln zu können. Und Quantencomputer können auch in anderen Bereichen Anwendung finden, zum Beispiel in der Materialwissenschaft. Denk hier an Supraleitern, mit welchen wir ganz viel Strom sparen können.
Sheesh. Also ich interpretiere das mal so, dass Quantencomputer einfach bei manchen Problemen viel schneller sind als klassische Computer. Got it. Aber woher kommt das? Wieso ist mein Quantencomputer jetzt so viel besser, schneller als mein Gaming-PC zum Beispiel?
Nun ja, stellen wir uns mal gemeinsam vor, wie so ein Quantencomputer eigentlich funktioniert. Also, es gibt verschiedene Möglichkeiten, einen Quantencomputer zu bauen. Aber die allerbeste und coolste Art, einen Quantencomputer zu bauen, ist mit gefangenen Ionen. Und Ionen sind nichts anderes als geladene Atome, die im Raum festgehalten werden. So wie diese zwei Diskokugeln. Und nun hör gut zu, denn das Geheimnis eines Quantencomputers liegt im Folgenden. Der Quantencomputer macht es nämlich, dass diese Ionen gemeinsam schwingen, im Gleichtakt. Und wenn sie so miteinander schwingen und swingen und miteinander tanzen, kann es sein, dass sie sich ineinander verlieben. Und ob du das glaubst oder nicht, mit verliebten Ionen können wir ganz tolle Berechnungen machen. Ist das nicht romantisch?
Hau mir ab mit Ihrer Romantik, Sie klauen ja. Das ist nicht romantisch, das ist Wissenschaft. Wir müssen uns hier die Quantenmechanik anschauen und die Quantenoptik, weil eigentlich verschränken wir hier diese Ionen, und zwar mit Lasern. Wir benutzen Laser, um die eigentlich getrennten Wellenfunktionen der beiden Ionen miteinander zu verschränken, sodass es eine Wellenfunktion ist, und danach kann man mit der Dichtematrix...
Oje, stopp, ich bin schon wieder lost. Also, aber kann ich mir das vorstellen wie in der Ehe zum Beispiel? Also, wenn meine Oma krantig ist, dann spürt das mein Opa sofort. Also, und dann ist er automatisch auch krantig. Und das ist ja so ähnlich wie bei diesen zwei Ionen zum Beispiel.
Ja, genau richtig.
Ja, okay. Ja, nice. Cool. Dann, ja, bin ich jetzt perfekt vorbereitet für meine Prüfung morgen, würde ich sagen. Ich hätte vielleicht noch eine kleine Frage. Und zwar, wenn dieses Konzept mit der Verschränkung schon so gut funktioniert, wieso haben wir dann noch keine Quantencomputer?
Nein, die Skalierung eben. Wir brauchen nicht nur 2, 3 Ionen, wir brauchen Hunderte, Tausende, Millionen, wahrscheinlich Abermillionen Ionen, und die müssen wir alle kontrollieren, und das ist ja komplex alles.
Genau richtig. Und um gute nämlich das erfordert eine gute, hohe Ingenieurskunst. Und um gute Quantencomputer zu bauen, brauchen wir ganz große Ionenfallen. Und Ionenfallen sind komplexe Mikrochips, in welchen Millionen von verliebten, verheirateten Ionen ihr Zuhause finden. Und aktuell zerbrechen sich viele schlaue Köpfe den Kopf, wie man solche Ionenfallen erforscht und entwickelt.
Ja, nice. Also das heißt, vielleicht haben wir in ein paar Jahren schon einen Quantencomputer, mit dem wir echt tolle Fortschritte in Wissenschaft und Forschung machen können. Aber wo sind denn diese Ingenieure eigentlich, die diese Ionenfallen-Chips bauen?
Hat hier jemand eine Ionenfalle bestellt?
Wow, stabil. Direkt aus dem Weinraum von der Ionenfallenfabrik.
Allerdings, aber so viele Hochzeiten für so viele verliebte Ionen, das kostet Geld. Also 1 Million Euro bitte.
Ja, klingt fair. Also, wenn ich beim Test morgen nichts weiß, gebe ich einfach die Ionenfalle ab. Gibt's da vielleicht noch Studentenrabatt?
Ich bin sprachlos. Unglaublich. Wie oft seid ihr schon auf großen Bühnen gestanden? Das sind ja schauspielerische Höchstleistungen.
Schauspieler noch nicht so oft.
Wir stehen auf der Bühne der Ionenfallenfabrik.
Ganz kurz, wie viele Jahre wird es noch dauern, bis dieses Ding Realität wird? Und weil das Kleine funktioniert schon. Also die 2 Ionen, die habt ihr schon im Griff. Habt ihr Schätzungen, wie viele Jahre wird es brauchen, bis er dann wirklich aus dem Reinraum kommt mit der 10.000 oder 100.000 oder Millionen Falle?
Ich denke, das kann man auf 2 Händen abzählen.
Auf 2 Händen abzählen. Okay, alle nicken. Das klingt optimistisch.
Also
und
von
dann
0 bis 10.
Danke für die Himmel. Das heißt, das werden wir, auch die über 50-Jährigen, werden wir noch erleben. Und dann kommt ihr wieder auf die Bühne und erzählt uns, wie euch der Weg dort gelungen ist. Wir wünschen euch alles Gute. Nochmal einen Riesenapplaus für diese Wahnsinn. Ihr habt euch was zum Trinken verdient. Ihr ebenso 15 Minuten Pause, um Flüssigkeiten nachzutanken, vielleicht auch Flüssigkeiten loszuwerden. In 15 Minuten geht es hier weiter mit dem nächsten Beitrag. Seid ihr bereit für die zweite Hälfte? Und ist euch bewusst, dass wir ja in einem basisdemokratischen Prozess am Ende alle gemeinsam den Slam Champion können? Also ihr könnt euch jetzt schon, es wird dann Diskussionsinseln geben, ihr könnt euch jetzt schon mit Argumenten wappnen, um eure Favoriten und Favoritinnen in der Diskussion bei den Punkten nach vorne zu bringen. Also ihr seid eine mündige, hoffentlich mündige, kollektive Jury. Okay? Weiter geht's mit neuen Ansätzen in der Behandlung von posttraumatischen Belastungsstörungen, und zwar mit Ketamin, das nicht nur Elon Musk regelmäßig nimmt. Agnieszka Mechelinska and Krzysztof Sadko. I hope my Polish pronunciation is close to the right version. They come as well from Medical University in Gdansk, and their slam is Ketamine for Psychiatric Trauma, a New Path to Healing. Massive Applaus for Agnieszka and Krzysztof.
Good evening. I would like to start with a question. Who of you knows Harry Potter? Great. Because his world will help us to take you in the world of psychiatry. Krzysztof, can you tell us what the trauma is?
Trauma is a specific mental condition caused by external factors that threaten your life. For example, we are talking about nature cataclysms, accidents, or of course war. Consequences of trauma is stress, anxiety, pain, sad, avoiding the places connected with trauma, or of course flashbacks.
We have different risk factors for developing trauma. What's important is that for each person in every age groups, they can be different. Let's look at the example of Harry Potter. He lost his parents. He didn't have supportive relatives. He had to sleep under the stairs. He had to change his whole environment because he received the magical letter. He was bullied by his peers. As he was getting older, he faced many life-threatening situations. Imagine this piece of paper is the mind. The mind is suffering from trauma. And the trauma is crumbled the mind. It doesn't look the same, does it? Krzysztof, what can we do about this?
Traditional treatments are antidepressant and anxiolytic. Unfortunately, typical treatment doesn't work for 30% of psychiatric patients. Therefore, we need a completely new solution.
And it's now time for ketamine. And the ketamine is a little bit like Severus Snape. Many of us thought he was the bad guy. The bullying teacher, the servant of the Dark Lord. Let's be honest, his PR wasn't good. And yet, in the final part, he turned out to be very supportive for Harry. And similar to ketamine. At first, ketamine was used as a painkiller on the battlefields, for example during the Vietnam War. As a substance, it can be abused or cause dissociation. But what's its role for psychiatry? Ketamine helps to rebuild the neuronal way in our brains. Going back to this mind, ketamine helped the crumbled mind to open for psychotherapy and typical medications, so they become more effective. It doesn't look the same as it was before, and it will never look the same. But what's important, it still can be good, still can be useful and needed.
I have one question. Do you know how take some ketamine?
No.
Okay, I show us. Salute. So, do you want to try this? Wait. Slow. Okay. Are there any volunteers here? Maybe another taste?
There's one here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we hope you liked a little bit of our psychiatric world. Thank you very much for your attention.
Wow, well done. Great magnificent, brilliant teamwork. Congratulations. I have a question. Are there side effects for people who take ketamine?
After a few minutes, so no problem now.
Okay. And is there a danger of getting addicted to it?
It depends.
It depends on the road how you take ketamine, because some people can take it intranasally. Yeah, it's much easier. But generally, it's a quite safe treatment.
How does it taste?
Excellent.
Did you try it?
Of course.
Of course. And does it, well, Elon Musk is taking it regularly. I think he wants to establish more neural connections. Does this really work? So does it make sense for me to take ketamine regularly?
Yes, it's a second brain after this.
A second brain. Okay. So you leave the stage now and I'll drink on.
I don't drink alcohol, please. Okay.
That's fine, that's fine. Okay, you will survive. Thank you so much. Big applause for this. Übrigens, auch Erich, kennt jemand Erich? Erich der Elch? Erich der Elch wurde auch mit Ketamin Emil, sorry, Emil. An dieser Stelle wäre eigentlich ein Beitrag der FH Kärnten gewesen. Von Ilias Svetnik. Leider ist er genau heute krank geworden. Deswegen die allerbesten Genesungswünsche von hier an den Ilia. Nächstes Jahr ist er fix dabei. Aber weiter geht's. Our next slammer. Shredder Singh from Medical University of Gdansk. Very good. Beyond the cholesterol number. Quality over quantity. Big applause for Shredder.
So, before starting, I will ask you all a question. Who all have had a blood test to check your cholesterol levels? Oh wow, that's not a lot. You guys not getting cholesterol checked? You must be really fit. Okay. Well, most of us at some point have had our cholesterol checked. And you know the drill. When you look at the report, you're checking immediately at two numbers. HDL, the good cholesterol, and LDL, the bad cholesterol. Are you all following through? Yes? We know HDL and LDL. Okay. And usually the message is really simple. So, you keep your LDL levels low and your HDL levels high, and you're safe. Well, it sounds very neat, tidy, and almost too good to be true, doesn't it? But here's the surprising part. Those numbers don't always tell the true story. Now, imagine with me. There are two people of the same age, and they have a bit of a different lifestyle, right? And they get their blood test done, and the reports come. The HDL and the LDL are very similar, but on paper, they're identically very healthy individuals. But then, when the doctors perform a heart scan, we see that one of the person has very squeaky clean, tidy pipes, or our arteries, and the other person has clogged up with calcium deposits. And these calcium deposits can be a problem for the future and cause cardiovascular risk factors or maybe even a heart attack. Never know. So, how is that even possible? Wasn't the HDL supposed to protect us? HDL is supposed to protect both of them. How can that be? Now, let's zoom into our HDL and see what it really does. Imagine with me, again, we're doing a lot of imagination today. We have two characters, HDL and, wait for it. Oh. No. The LDL, right? The LDL is supposed to be the bad cholesterol. And this bad cholesterol, what it's doing in your arteries, is creating a lot of mess. Just mess. All the fat in the arteries is just being clogged up and dirty. Now, what does the HDL do? And HDL
is supposed to clean up the mess that I created? Well, that's some really good cleaning. So, when we see the HDL, the whole thing, we have to remember about this very tiny little molecule called PON1, which is this enzyme that sits on our HDL and helps the HDL to sort of clean out the mess that is created in the arteries. All cleaners must have the right tools. And what if we take away this tool? What is our HDL gonna do? Just stand there and look pretty? Huh? Or pretend to work, show up at work and not really able to do anything. What is gonna happen? So, you must remember, every cleaner has to have the right tools to be able to do its work properly. And HDL might look perfectly fine on your blood test, but without an active PON1, which is our broom, it may not be able to protect as much better as you may think. Okay, so can we have a round of applause for our HDL? In our research with older smokers who had been smoking for more than 10 years, we found out that people with lower active PON1 had much more calcium deposits in the arteries. And even though their HDL was perfectly normal on the blood test. And when we compared the cholesterol numbers with the calcium scans that we did, and the scans basically gave us a better picture of the deposits that were on the arteries. So here's the key message. Cholesterol is not always about the quantity, it's also about the quality. HDL brings in the dirt, LDL brings in the dirt, and HDL cleans out this dirt. And PON1 is the broom that really helps the HDL clear out the clog in your arteries. And the best news is that this is actually not very random or luck. It's not like you can get lucky with having a really good HDL or a bad PON1. You can actually help your HDL do a way better job. And you can do this by making good choices every day. So maybe we can have somebody who can scream out what could be the first choice you can make? Yes? Yes! So you need to quit smoking. That is the first best choice that you can make, because when you smoke, you're basically harming your PON1. And any guesses? Exercise. Yes, exercising daily. Even 30 minutes of exercise can really help. Eating healthy fats like olive oil and nuts really boost up your metabolism and your HDL. And fruits and vegetables, as colorful as you can have. Last but not the least, you need to have sleep and stress management. You need to remember, so the next time you have your cholesterol report, don't stop at just the numbers. Numbers are like a headline, but not the real story. And you need to know that whether your cleaner have the right tools. So take care of your HDL, protect the broom, the PON1, and together they will take care of your heart. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is it possible for me to take the PON1 molecule as a drug or as a food supplement?
That's actually a very interesting question. Well, as scientists, we're not trying to learn the whole concept of PON1 even now. So maybe this can be something for the future. Something for the future. You're already thinking in the future. Yeah. But definitely it could be something. But why can't you not just make better choices every day?
So I do not smoke, and I will eat colorful fruits. You can waste
Oh my God, so maybe.
Next letter is doing his research at Affenberg Research Station, close to Villach. Who has been to Affenberg already? Ah, yes. If not, go there. I've been there as well, and it's really recommendable. So, Roy Hammer is presenting us a grandma story. What aging in monkeys teaches us. Big applause for Roy Hammer.
So, this story is not about me, it's all about Kati. And for those that have been to the Affenberg, you probably already met her. Because Kati is what we would call lovingly the grandma, the Omi, the loving oldest monkey that we had at the Monkey Mountain. And she was such a loving grandmother that she was always hanging out with her other grandmother BFFs, having a lovely time. Just sitting together, grooming one another. But that wasn't always the case, because Kati used to be quite a fierce lady. She got into all kinds of trouble when she was younger. Arguments, conflicts, discussions. And exactly that made me curious. Because what happened to Kati as she got older? How did her social behavior change when she got older? That is my research question. And the next question therefore became, how do I study this? And I can explain it to you with all kinds of scientific terms and make it a very difficult explanation, but you already know what you would look at if I were to ask you, how did your social behavior change? Because we are already embedded in so many social networks. Just open your phone, look at Instagram, look at Twitter, look at TikTok. Those, not now, please pay attention, but those are your social behaviors and those things that measure your social behavior. And so, in order to answer my question about Kati, I also looked at her social media. And well, where do you find the social media of an old person these days? On Facebook. Thank you very much. Also für deren, die gerade nicht verstanden haben, ich habe alle Leute, die jetzt auf Facebook zijn, alt genannt. So this is Kati's social media profile, her Facebook profile. You can see the number of friends that she has, the time that she spends on social media, the types of messages that she sends and receives, but also the balance between the likes and the dislikes that she gets and sends to her friends. And of course her most recent posts. And all the things that I looked at in the field at the Affenberg are a direct translation of the things that you see on a social media profile. I'm a scientist, I tend to make it a bit more complicated because it makes me look smart, but if I boil it down to the very basics, it's exactly this. And I think we can all understand this, right? Yes. I see some nods. Yes, okay, good. So what did we find? Well, we can see that the number of friends that Kati had, well, it was rather stable. Sometimes it increased, sometimes it became a bit less, sometimes it became a bit more, but overall it stayed rather stable. So she was not isolating herself. What did change as she got older was the time that she spent on her social media. Young Kati spent quite a lot of time on her social media, but as she got older, it became less and less and less. What also changed was the type of messages that she sent and received. Like I said before, Kati was quite a fierce lady, so in the beginning there were quite some arguments going back and forth. As you would say nowadays, there was quite some hate going back and forth. But as she got older, it became more positive, nicer, and altogether a bit more friendly. And we saw the same development in the types in the balance of likes and dislikes that she had with her friends. Because as she got older, it became way more positive. So overall, we saw that Kati, her social media profile, became more positive, friendlier, and nicer. Even though she spent less time on her social behavior, and she was not isolating herself. So she still had the same number of friends. And it wasn't just Kati that showed this, but all the other female Japanese macaques that we studied at the Affenberg showed the same. So cute Amanda and Michaela, for those that want to visit the Affenberg, you can still meet Michaela today. They also showed the same developments. They all became nicer as they got older. In general, as a behavioral biologist, I call these developments due to age, social aging. And you might wonder, why should we look at social aging? Well, in order to explain that, I have to look at one of Kati's most recent posts, namely the evolutionary tree of us and our closest relatives, the primates. Because our study has shown that Japanese macaques show social aging. These are the macaques. But not just the macaques show social aging. The apes do it too. Gorillas, chimpanzees, they also show social aging. And we humans also change our social behavior as we get older. So social aging is a biological process. It's evolutionary. We shared it with our closest relatives, and therefore we must have shared it with our common ancestors as well. And why is this important to us? Well, humans, unfortunately in our case, are a bit special, because we are the only primate in which it is said that social aging leads to social isolation. It is unfortunately a growing problem that the elderly, as we heard before tonight, get more isolated, alone, depressed as they get older. And there are some that say that this is because of social aging. And that social aging is a cultural problem in our modern times. But that's not true, because our research has shown that we share this with other monkeys and primates, which means that social aging itself is biological, it's evolutionary. But the way that we deal with it, that is very much a problem of our modern societies. Because we isolate our elderly. We put them away into care homes. We remove them from the social surroundings that they grow up in. But maybe we could be more like Kati. Maybe we could actually follow the example that Kati has shown us. If we allow our elderly to grow up with the BFFs that they have made over time, let them be in the surroundings, in their social surroundings. As they grow older, maybe our elderly would not be so isolated as well, and maybe they will also become more positive. And if not, we can always send them to senior university.
Unbelievable. So we banned the projector, but this is the most creative replacement of a digital projection I've ever seen. It's brilliant. What is the time span? For how long do we have to observe Kati to realize that there's a change in behavior?
That's a very good question. Preferably your entire lifetime, of course, because then we know how it happens from birth all the way till seniority and everything in between. But at the Affenberg, we have a database that spans 6 years now, which is already, especially in primatological research, a lot of data, because it's really hard to follow the same monkeys every single year, every single time. Not only do you need to know the monkeys, you also have to have people in the field. A little shout out to the amazing team that we have in front of here, because we need to repetitively observe them, and that's the challenge. So the fact that we have 6 years of data on our monkeys is already very high standard within the field of research that I'm in. Yep.
So you've only been speaking about omas.
Yes.
What about the males? How do they behave? How do they change when they get older?
That's a very good question. That's going to be the next step in our research. We want to, of course, replicate this in the males. For now, we've only focused on the females. There will be I expect a change with the males, and it all has to do with their social family, social system. So the females, they stick together with the family their entire lives. It's a matrilineal species, which means that the family comes first for the females, but the males, they leave. They leave their family when they get sexually mature, and they have to kind of fight for themselves. And because they have to work for their place in the group, and can't really rely on their, well, relatives, they have to kind of keep on working and working and working. I still think that there will be similar changes, but I think it will be a bit delayed, because I think they will have to keep working a bit longer in comparison to the females than the males do. So that's why I think the females can enjoy their pension and retirement a bit earlier, but the males, they have to keep on fighting for a while. That's what I think will happen. But maybe in a few years I can stand here with the social profile of Pauline, for example, or any other male that we have.
So in 6 years we invite you again.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Right. You will have a tough job tonight to decide which one is the most inspiring Science Slam contribution. There's one more, number 7. Swati Krishna Regokumar from of Gdansk. The story of survival in breast cancer. Just a second, you get your applause for it. Take your time to prepare everything, and I very slowly repeat the title of your presentation. So, Swati Krishna Reko Kumar from Medical University of Gdansk, a very beautiful city in Poland at the shore. So if you haven't been there, go there. It's worth going. I've been there by bicycle already and I really enjoyed it. And her topic today. Sorry, I have to turn on your microphone. Sorry, Swati. I don't want to disturb you. Yes. And her topic for concluding this great and really inspirational science slam is the story of survival in breast cancer, creating the nano miracle. And now once again, huge applause for Swati Krishna Reko Kumar.
Good evening, everyone. Guten Abend. You might see a lot of pink on me here, if you have noticed. So for me, pink actually is the sign of hope in breast cancer. So today, I'm talking about the story of survival in breast cancer, creating the nano miracle. Years ago, as a young student, I noticed the news about the Hollywood actress Angelina Jolie. I don't know if any of you follow her. Anyone? No? Oh, I'm the only one. I think I'm not so young. I'm still young, but yeah. So then Angelina Jolie, so what the news was that she was a Hollywood actress and she chose to undergo surgical removal of her breasts. So why she must have made such a decision? Because it's a disease that have impacted many lives. Not only women, men can get affected too, but rarely. So, any lump that goes misdiagnosed or diagnosed too late can tell a devastating story later. And even if it's diagnosed earlier, the journey can't be so easier. So what makes it very dangerous? Number one, it can spread to other parts of our body, and the drugs we use to treat breast cancer can itself cause severe side effects to the patient. Therefore, we need medicines that can specifically target the cancer cells, because these drugs can attack both cancer cells and the normal cells. So we need to kill the cancer cells alone, right? Do you think so?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So, in my lab, we are developing smart nano agents. So, what do you think about nano? Anybody? Tiny, right? Yeah. So, it means 1/1000th of a meter.
Yeah.
Or even smaller than the tip of the safety pin. So, what happens with these nano medicines or nano agents in breast cancer? What is their role in breast cancer? So, imagine this basket of fruits as our body or our breast tissue, where the cancer cells can be there. So, all of these are our normal cells. Cancer cells can have an acidic nature or sour, so like a lemon. And today, right, normally we treat cancer cells with these kind of red drugs or normal cancer. This is an example of a normal cancer drugs. So he comes and attacks. So we are treating the breast cancer. So what happens inside a body, like here, it comes and attacks and kills all the cells all together, all at once. Boom. That's so sad. Sad for him too. Because we are not going to use it. Then here comes our gold nano agent. So here we use, as we said, tiny, right? right? We use a tiny gold nanoparticle, like a gold or just call a gold nanoparticle, attached with these old cancer drugs, but in very lower amounts. Together with some of these layers, as you can see here. So what's with these layers? These layers, motile structures over these. So these structures are the layerings which will help the cancer cells, or which will help our nano agents to easily find our sour or the lemon-like acidic cancer cells. So imagine if this is a Secret Service agent, so it has the GPS with this layer, like the pH change. So it can find these acidic cancer cells whenever we reach our cells. It can easily attach these acidic cancer cells and kill them. Therefore, we can attain equal efficacy with lower concentrations of the same old drug and fewer side effects. That means to attain, if this is our profile of our nanoparticles, this is our old drug, compared to this drug, we can attain safety, efficacy, and specificity when it reaches the right destination, which is essential for any medicine. That means our nanodrugs can reach exactly where it needs to be, rather than going everywhere. Therefore, we can attain and kill these cancer cells, leaving our normal cells sound and safe. Therefore, nanomedicine is a turning point in breast cancer research. From blind targeting to targeted healing, and from causing widespread damage to precision striking, nanomedicine have evolved to protect our patients and improving their lives. It simply means empowering the body to fight smarter. So by this attempt, we are hoping for a future where our patients can have a life with fewer side effects and beat this disease with higher quality of life.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What a brilliant, instructive presentation. Thanks a lot. And it sounds so promising. You said in future. So how close are you to clinical studies? How many years will it take until your science special agents will really attack cancer cells?
It might take years. Because in our lab, we're only treating with the cell lines. For any drug, we have to reach from the cell lines, and then with crucial and solid results, we have to go to the animal testing, and only from that we can reach the clinical stage. Of course, testing in human beings should be more crucial and considered.
The approach is very, very promising. In the moment, what are you currently working on? So what is the current challenge you're tackling in the moment in your lab? So
it's about establishing the correct mechanism of action. This pH is only one, but we have to find the more efficacy compared to the other cancer drugs. So we have to find how much effectivities or how much the amount of drugs can give the safety together with efficacy.
So the mechanism is working already, and you just have to improve the efficiency.
Yeah.
Wow, so good luck in your research, and thank you so much for that. Now it's your turn to decide who is crowned Science Slam champion tonight. As a reminder, I call all our Science Slammers on stage, once again in the order of their appearance. So, our first slammer, can you remember? Luis Jacob, age 39. Claudia Kubiak, CSI Bloodstream, Tracking Cancer's Most Wanted. Matthias, in Liebe gefangen, Quantencomputer aus Kärnten. Agnieszka Michelinska and Krzysztof Sadko, ketamine for psychiatric trauma, a new path to healing. Number 5, Shraddha Singh, Beyond the Cholesterol Number, Quality over Quantity. Roy Hammer, a grandma story what aging in monkeys teaches us. And Swati Krishna Rigokumar, the story of survival in breast cancer. So one step forward into the light, because we need one great picture of all of you. So please line up and we take a picture. I join you. Thank you very much. You go to the backstage room now. You can have the first drink. Hopefully the first drink. Be prepared to come back in about 10 minutes, okay? So relax for a moment. Haben wir die Votingkarten? Ja, okay. Das läuft jetzt folgendermaßen ab. Die erste Reise, jede 2n-1. Reihe, das ist die erste, die dritte, die fünfte, dreht sich um, damit die Menschen, die bisher nur eure Hinterköpfe bewundern durften, euch ins Gesicht blicken können. Also die erste Reihe, die dritte Reihe, die fünfte dreht sich um. Und dann bildet sich da eine Diskussionsinsel und jede Insel bekommt eine Votingkarte. Jetzt ist die Frage, wer ist die Alpha-Persönlichkeit, die sich die Votingkarte und den Stift schnappt? Und ihr gemeinsam diskutiert jetzt über unsere 7 Slam-Beiträge und müsst euch gemeinsam auf eine Punktevergabe einigen. Wenn es Fragen gibt, wendet euch an uns. Jetzt diskutiert 10 Minuten Zeit, einigt euch auf eine Punktevergabe und dann werfen wir das schnell aus. Und schreibt zu mir, es war dein allererster Science Slam, ganz kurz, wie ist es dir heute ergangen?
Ja, also ein herzliches Grüß Gott auch von meiner Seite. Ich muss sagen, ich bin sprachlos. Es war spannend bis zum Schluss. Die Darbietungen, also wenn der Unterricht auch so ablaufen würde, ich muss mir wirklich überlegen, für mich kommt wahrscheinlich dann eher die Selinger-Uni irgendwann einmal zu packen. Aber ich habe mir schon eine To-Do-List aufgestellt, der nächste Besuch auf dem Affenberg steht an und es war spannend. Ich bin sprachlos und fasziniert zugleich.
Genau das wollten wir erreichen. Vielen, vielen Dank. Julia, bitte komm zu uns mit den Kugeln. Und nochmal mit einem Riesenapplaus für die Organisation.
Ja, also, für mich persönlich wart ihr alle spitze, ihr seid alle Gewinner heute Abend. Wir werden jetzt den Sieger verkünden von der Publikumswahl. Julia, ich darf dich ja bitten.
Ja, damit das notariell beglaubigt ist.
Der Winner ist. Roy Hammer.
Emotional, wie geht's dir jetzt?
Es ist super froh, es ist großartig, es ist super, wirklich.
Es gibt, Julia, was ist im Beutel?
Was ist im Beutel? Im Beutel ist Tee aus dem Teehaus, das gleich nebenbei ist. Heißer Tipp für Villach, ganz ein tolles Geschäft. Junge Unternehmerin, die ganz viel über Tee weiß. Die ist auch heute im Publikum. Yes. darum, dass wir tolle Städtenorganisationen unterstützen mit dem, was wir auch machen, inklusive Kulturhof und eben auch das Teehaus, damit Villach auch wirklich lively ist und special und ja, also bitte einfach alle in den Kulturhof kommen, ins Teehaus gehen, viel Tee kaufen, viel Tee trinken und viel Kultur genießen im Kulturhof. Anschließend, davor, dazwischen.
Und natürlich auf den Affenberg. Es war auch eure Entscheidung wirklich sehr, sehr knapp. Wir haben einen ersten und 6 zweite Plätze. Wir bitten alle Slammerinnen noch einmal für den wohlverdienten Wir erleben hier das physikalische Phänomen der Selbstorganisation, mehr oder weniger. Organize yourselves. This is not an equal distribution, so move over there. Self-organization on stage and step into the light. Step into the light. Yes. One step forward, yes. Das war der zweite Science Slam in Villach. Es gibt jetzt natürlich noch die Urkunden, die Zertifikate. Ich hoffe, wir dürfen nächstes Jahr wieder in den Kulturhof kommen. Ich hoffe, es finden sich wieder couragierte Slammerinnen und Slammer. Wahrscheinlich sind einige auch im Publikum. Wenn ihr jemanden kennt, der oder die an einem spannenden Thema forscht und eine hohe Bühnenauftrittswahrscheinlichkeit hat, und wir sorgen dafür, wir unterstützen diese Bühnenauftrittswahrscheinlichkeit, wir machen euch bühnenreif, dann meldet euch, oder ihr könnt auch andere Menschen nominieren. Wir brauchen nur die Kontaktdaten und dann holen wir schon. Ich hoffe, Markus, auch du wirst deinen Beitrag wieder leisten, dass das möglich wird. Vielen Dank euch allen und vielen Dank euch fürs Kommen, fürs Dabeisein. Alle Slammer, Slammerinnen stehen jetzt noch hinten an der Bar für Zwiegespräche zu ihrer Forschung zur Verfügung, hoffentlich, wenn sie noch in der Lage sind. Okay, na, schaut auf das. Das war's. Danke fürs Dabeisein. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Schönen Abend.